R. Kelly was back in court today in the sexual abuse case against him. He pleaded not guilty to 11 additional sexual-related felonies. Now, they include 4 counts of aggravated criminal sexual assault, which each carry a maximum prison sentence of 30 years. His attorney spoke to the media after this hearing.
We pled not guilty to all of the charges because he's not guilty. If you didn't do it, you didn't do it. I think he's feeling positive. It's tough. Everything is against him.
Well, Kelly remains free on $1 million bond. Now, back in February, he also pleaded not guilty to 10 related counts of felony aggravated sexual abuse involving 4 women. 3 of them were minors at the time. He denies all of the accusations against him. The allegations against Kelly, though, were thrust back into the spotlight after the release of the Lifetime docuseries Surviving R. Kelly. It details decades of alleged sexual abuse by the singer. He has denied all of those, but Asante Mcgee was among the women who spoke out. She sat down with NBC's Dasha and opened up about the alleged abuse and her escape.
When did you first meet R. Kelly?
I originally met him in 2013, but I was formally introduced to him in January 2014.
That was after stories of his alleged abuse had been circulating for decades. Yeah. Did that dissuade you at all?
When he was acquitted, I just couldn't believe no juror would just acquit somebody if it wasn't him. Like, okay, clearly it wasn't him. Maybe it was somebody else. So I was really naive. I mean, and I blame myself. I'm like, I should have listened to what the public said at the time. But again, when he was acquitted, I was like, okay, it wasn't him.
Can you characterize that relationship for me?
In the beginning, everything was what to be expected. I mean, it was no telltale signs as far as him being controlling. You know, he gave.
It was like dating any other guy. Mm-hmm.
And you know, by him being a celebrity, he wanted a lot of things to, you know, keep to myself. Like he'll tell us, you know, when you get in the car, you catching the Uber or whatever, just put your headphones on, do not engage in a conversation, because once they find out who you're dating, then, you know, they might try to attack you. So I thought that he was telling me things like that for my protection.
To protect you.
Yes. And so, again, I didn't know that was because that was a form of controlling.
I've heard in your story, you mention anecdotes like he would leave you in a van for, you know, 8+ hours. Were those things you also sort of chalked up to, oh, he's, you know, he's just famous and...
When he locked me, he had me in a Sprinter. You know, I was on the phone talking to different friends, so time really went by fast that I didn't realize until I couldn't talk on the phone anymore. And so I was like, hold up, I'm still in this, like, wait, it's nighttime.
Did you have food?
No.
Bathroom?
No. I text and say, Dad, I need to use the bathroom, no response. And again, I should have been like, oh no, I should have left then, but I didn't. He just used his charm on me that made me just forget what just happened.
So when did you first start realizing and seeing those red flags?
Sadly, when he forced me to move into his house. And every day from that moment on is when hell began.
So what was that final straw? What got you out of there?
It was multiple things. Not being able to walk freely in the house. I felt like I was in prison. Again, not eating, having to have permission for everything. And I felt like I'm a grown woman. We're all adults. Why do we have to have permission to do anything freely? So I just felt like I was in prison.
So what has the response been since you've come out with this?
We get more support than hate. I mean, you still have those that's going to victim shame us and just say that, oh, we're out there for the money. We're just trying to take another black man down. And I'm just tired of people always blaming the victims instead of taking the time and listen.
For people who hear your story and say, I mean, look, you were a grown woman, you made your own decisions, and sort of criticize what these allegations you're coming out with, what do you say to them?
How could the world just be so cruel to treat human beings that way? And then if the tables was turned, how would you feel if your family members of yourself was treated that way? And that's why a lot of people today still don't come forward, because they see all of the victim shaming that not only myself but other victims from other celebrities, and not even just celebrities, that come forward because they don't want to be ridiculed by the public. He has scared so many people, and I felt like I had to be the voice for the voiceless. So it was my job to come forward, and again, I was surprised about how many victims that he had.
When you saw that interview and saw him explode, did that bring back memories at all?
It terrified me. I actually turned on the TV and I was getting dressed to take my kids to school. And when I heard him scream, I ran. I literally ran because I felt like he was in the house with me. If I hear his music, it terrifies me. I can't hear his voice without thinking back of what I've gone through, thinking back what other women is going through with him today. So I can't even much hear his voice, and that's why I say that's how I know I'm not healed, because I know that I'm afraid of him, but I shouldn't be afraid to the point that his music and his voice terrifies me.
It feels like there have been these moments in the past, right, where people thought there would be a reckoning for this man. You know, when the tape came out and he was on trial, when other explosive articles were printed. What do you think this moment is? Do you think it's different in any way? It
is different because he is facing consequences. His record label did drop him. He's not touring, so every tour date that he's gotten that has been canceled, he's been, I think he's getting the consequences, not slowly but surely, and I do believe in the justice system, because now we have the Mute R. Kelly, we have the Me Too movement.
Why do you think we as a society ignored it for so long? I mean, here was all of this information, all of this potential evidence, and his songs are still played at proms, at weddings, at parties.
Me personally, I think because it was the color of our skin, because it was black women that was coming forward making accusations against him. I believe if it was white women that was coming forward, he would have been shut down. So if it was a white woman on that tape, he would have been prosecuted.
These stories were sort of an open secret in the industry, and people looked the other way for so long. Have things changed, and what still needs to change in the business?
I believe things have changed. I mean, you had Lady Gaga apologize from, collaborating a song with him. I feel like, we can't control who play his music, but I just feel like when we say mute, we need to mute all the way. Like, stop playing his music in restaurants, clubs, nothing, even songs that he's written. It needs to stop. So I believe Sony dropping him is a huge, accomplishment. And we just need to really just stick to our guns.
Yeah, how much has this platform been empowering to you?
It has. It makes me want to go stronger. It makes me, I'm not about to just stop with R. Kelly. My goal is to take every predator, every abuser at a time, one day at a time down. So if one victim come forward a day, I know I've done my job right.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.